हसाम भाई अपलोड कीजिए काइंडली, वीडियो अपलोड कीजिए, ये प्रेजेंटेशन अपलोड करें काइंडली, नजर नहीं आ रहा।
मैं स्लाइड्स चेंज कर रहा हूँ सर, आपके पास आ नहीं रही है स्लाइड चेंज, मैं कर रहा हूँ।
यार मेरे पास ये आपका वो वाला लगा हुआ है जिसपे अदर पेज खुला हुआ है ना, जो डाउनलोड्स वाला, वो लगा हुआ है।
एक मिनट में दोबारा करता हूँ।
जी बस ये चले फर्स्ट फर्स्ट केस से स्टार्ट करें डायरेक्टली, लॉन्ग केस पे चले ना।
सर प्रेजेंटेशन आ गई है आपके पास?
प्रेजेंटेशन आ गई है, फर्स्ट केस से स्टार्ट कीजिए।
लॉन्ग केस लगाया हुआ है मैंने।
जी हाँ, नहीं लॉन्ग केस नजर नहीं आ रहा मेरे पास। मेरे पास जो सर रियाज साहब की जिसमें तस्वीर है वो लगा हुआ है।
अब आ गया?
जी जी जी, शाकिरुल्लाह भाई आपको नजर आ रहा है, सबको नजर आ रहा है? इज दिस विजिबल टू एवरीबॉडी? लॉन्ग केस स्लाइड।
जी सर, ये नजर आ रहा।
काइंडली स्टार्ट। Shakurla bhai, kindly try to communicate in English as we have other candidates as well who do not understand our local language. So, if possible for you, kindly do it in English. Otherwise, okay, उर्दू में भी कर ले, लेकिन ये है कि बेहतर ये है।
हाँ, okay Asad bhai. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, I will start with the greeting with the patient and introduction, and then I will take consent for the taking history and examination. Um, um, First of all, I will take the biodata of the patient as that it is given me that the gender of the patient is female and the age is 45. Uh, then I will come after the biodata. I will come to the chief complaints of the patient, and the complaints which are given to me. One is the on-off headache, and other is the memory disturbance. So mm, uh, I will also ask some other important question with the headache and the memory disturbance. Like I will ask the patient that the patient have any face history, any loss of consciousness, any speech problem, any vision problem, any hearing problem, any weakness in the body, any sphincter problem, uh, any sphincter problem, and any vertigo or any other important uh, point in the chief complaint. Then I will come to the headache, and I will elaborate the headache from the patient. I will ask the duration is given to me. I will ask that how it was started. It was sudden in onset or it was gradual. And I will ask the characteristic of the headache, that it is band like headache. And then I will ask that it is intermittent headache or it is continuous headache. So it is also important for me. As in this case, it is given me that the headache is on off, so it is uh, intermittent. And then I will ask that the headache is in more in the morning time, and is it associated with the nausea and vomiting? And after that, the headache is relieved, so it's also important. And other, I will ask that the headache is increased with the sneezing, coughing. Uh, uh, it is important, and I will ask that what drugs are what thing that can relieve the headache of the patient. And then I will ask the severity of the headache, that it is I will ask the patient that if it is the 0 is the 1 is the minimum headache and the 10 is the maximum headache, what point the patient will go to his to her headache. and then I will cause that the headache is associated with any other feature like behavior changes or any first history or any other things. So I will ask, and then I will come to the memory disturbance. It is from the 4 months. I will ask the patient that how the memory of the patient is disturbed. It is the short-term memory of the patient is disturbed. पेशेंट को जो अभी जो चीज़ है वो उसका पता नहीं चाहता द शॉर्ट टर्म मेमोरी एंड आई विल आस्क also the long-term memory of the patient. It will also help me. And then uh, after that, I will come to the neurological history. In the neurological history, I will ask in the frontal lobe, I will first of all, I will ask the higher mental function of the patient, that how is the orientation, the judgment, the thinking, the calculation of the patient, and how is the registration of the patient. And then I will ask the frontal lobe function, that is the behavior changes, the unique problem, or any weakness in the body. And then I will ask the uh, the temporal lobe function. I will ask uh, if I didn't ask regarding the fits, so I will take the history of the fits uh, uh, and then I will ask that the patient have any problem in hearing herself or dressing herself, or the patient have problem with calculation or any uh, problem with the vision. So I will ask that. Then I will ask that the patient have any tremor history, उसके हाथ तो कामती नहीं है, and any problem in the walking. I will ask the cerebellum function. Then I will ask that the patient have any problem with the increase in size uh, uh, of the uh, her body, or uh, any uh, amenorrhea and galacturia sign symptom, and I will ask that the patient have uh, any uh, constipation or any other problem. So I will ask the pituitary question, and then I will ask regarding the diabetes insipidus history of for hypothalamus, and that the patient have any urinary problem or increased thirst. And then I will ask the patient that the patient have any diplopia or any problem in going up or going down from the stair. So I will ask the patient. And uh, uh, and then I will ask the patient the cranial nerve question, and I will ask that the patient have any problem with smell or any other thing. And I will ask the patient that the patient have any visual problem or not, any problem with the visual field, any pain in the eyes. So I will ask that question. And then I will ask regarding the fifth cranial question, and that is the any numbness in the face, any weakness in the face. And I will ask that the patient have any hearing problem uh, on any side, and any swallowing difficulty, any weakness in the muscle of the neck, and any weakness in the tongue. So after that, I will ask that the patient have any uh, any weakness, any problem in the upper limb or in the lower limb. And then I will ask the patient that the patient have any history of any cancer or any other disease, any discharge from the head, or any history of the past surgery, any tuberculosis history, or any other important disease of the body. So, and then I will ask regarding systemic inquiry, that the patient have any bone problem, any problem uh, with
ठीक है,
the
systemic
lower limb.
inquiry को आप छोड़ें. You can leave systemic inquiry. Any other thing in the history you want to check or you want to ask? Particularly, she is female.
Uh, uh,
Her
yes, I
gynecological history. Her gynecological history.
yes, I told in the
But
pituitary that I will ask the galactura and minoria. So,
yes, but the thing is, when we are asking about amenorrhea or galactorrhea, we are asking only two specific features related with pituitary. But other things which are related with female, we should ask individually, because when we have a case of female and if she is in the age of fertility or afterwards, we have to ask gynecological history. That is important. We have to tell them that I will ask about gynecological history, although they will, if there is not importance of this that in the scenario, they will say you leave it. Okay, but we have to mention the other thing which I wanted to tell in the history is when you said, like, I will ask about the history of diabetes insipidus. So actually, when we are describing the history, we should not say directly, we should not diagnosis, or we should not say like this. I will say that I will ask about increased urination, like this. So the examiner, we have to take examiner in a pattern that it looks good. And the other thing is, like in the visual fields, when we are saying, we have to ask about blurring of vision, so that we should assess about the papilloedema in the history as well. Otherwise, history is fine. One more thing that I wanted to tell is, actually in the virtual exam you are given 5 minutes for the history in real time examination. So we don't have to tell them all about this. So you should tailor your a few important things. Like when a headache history comes to you, you have to directly jump and you have to tell them about vertigo, not about vertigo or cerebellar, but you have to think with headache there is there is component of memory. It means it is somewhat related towards the supratentorial region and in frontal slightly temporal region, something like this, or higher cortical region. So you have to talk in that scenario. You have to only focus these things. If the examiner asks you why you haven't told that, you should justify it like this: sir, you were asking me about relevant history, so I was talking about relevant history. You are fine, Shakir bhai. Kindly go for relevant examination.
okay, now after that, I will start my examination from the general physical examination. I will check the vitals of the patient, and then I will check for any anemia, clubbing, cyanosis, or any edema of the body. And then I will come to the neurological examination. And first of all, I will check the ahead of the patient, that the patient, if the patient give me some history of the surgery, so I will check for any shunt or any other thing. And then I will check the higher mental function of the patient. And after that, after a higher mental function, I will, after higher mental function, and then I will focus on the low function. And I will check the frontal lobe function. That is the glabellar tape, pulmomental reflex, note reflex, cross reflexes, and then I will check the pronator drift of the patient. Then I will examine the patient for any stenosis, any aggrapesthesia, and and I will check the rating of the patient. And then I will also then I will check the cerebellar function, and I will check for any head nodding or any other tremors, but I will not focus too much on the cerebellum. It is interior. So I will check the main points in that. And then I will uh, check the cranial nerve of the patient, and in the cranial nerve, in the first cranial nerve, uh, I will check for any loss of smell, any visual problem of the patient. I will focus for any uh, 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 in the visual examination. I will uh, check the direct indirect reflexes, the visual acuity, the visual field, and I will focus for the papilledema, that the patient have any papilledema or not. And then I will check the fifth cranial and the third, fourth, and fifth cranial of the patient, by checking the extraocular muscle movement, and I will check the corneal reflexes, and then I will check the facial nerve and um, facial nerve. I will ask the patient to look above, and for any frowning of the face, for closing of the eyes, for blowing, and I will ask the patient to show me teeth. And then I will check the hearing of the patient by the wash test, Reenes, and the Weber test. And then I will check the gag reflexes of the patient. I will check the sternocleidomastoid muscle, and the shrugging of the shoulder, and the tongue for any atrophy. And then I will come to the lower limb examination.
Okay,
Uh,
okay. Sambai, next slide, please. Okay, you have gone through the relevant examination. We will go ahead. And so this is the presentation which you are given. The patient had recurrent headache, on and off, and vomiting with vomiting. Memory was disturbed and had papilloedema grade 2. So next slide, please. Can we move ahead, Shakir bhai?
Ji sir, ji sir.
So what would be your differential diagnosis on the basis of history and these findings, presentation and examination finding?
If
सबसे
there,
पहले तो लीजन को आइडेंटिफाई करें सर कि लीजन कहाँ पे है, इसके बाद डीडी पे आएंगे.
हाँ, बिल्कुल वही.
the lesion are looking to be the supratentorial lesion. Okay, so there is the headache, so that is the reason the lesion is the supratentorial.
Where in
Because-
where supratentorial? Where?
Because when you are given some findings in which it is difficult for you to actually reach to the point, then you have to first of all say supratentorial like this. Then you have to think a bit about the symptoms from where they originate. So you can just say, sir, likely in these region, probably. Because you are not sure about this. So
Yes, sir.
Ji.
As there is the headache, and is the memory disturbance. These two features are given to me, and other is the papilledema. So the lesion can be in the lobe, in the temporal lobe, or it can be in the midline. In the midline, is in the uh, in at interior to the third ventricle. The lesion can be in the midline.
Frontal lobe में जो सर.
Frontal lobe, in the frontal lobe, because there is no weakness.
फ्रंटल लोब और हायर अपना कॉर्टिकल मिडलाइन की तरफ ऐसे हो सकता है.
If the lesion in the frontal lobe, ideally there should be some weakness in the body. As the patient's speech is intact, the patient have no urinary problem, the patient has no weakness, so the chances are very rare that the lesion will be in the frontal lobe.
Maybe they
Okay.
missed the point. No. Sir, there are 2 points which can differentiate between the frontal lobe
पॉइंट नहीं लिखे आपको
and the pineal region, sir. As there is no weakness, no fits. So
Yes.
and there is memory disturbance, and there is on-off headache. So on-off headache and memory disturbance, the lesion may be in pineal region, and if it is in the frontal lobe, so there should be positive finding of seizures or weakness. So I think
but
according
the-
according to the according to the positive finding and according to the scenario, the lesion should be in the pineal region, sir.
in the perineal region, there is the Perinard syndrome.
Yes,
So
perineal.
And
it is
perineal-
not present in the Perinard syndrome,
if you
and
say-
the patient have no history of any problem with the steering up, steering down.
Yes,
maybe
There-
it not
Very important.
involved the
there is
primary motor
confusion.
area.
There is
Primary
there is
motor area को
confusion.
involve नहीं किया there
अच्छा।
that's why there is no
अच्छा
weakness.
So we-
ब्रदर, जो हमें फाइंडिंग्स मिलती है ना, हम उसके ही अराउंड चल रहे होते हैं ना, we rotate around these findings, and secondly, sometimes when there are some extra-axial lesions, or sometimes there are soft findings, so patients initially start with this. We have seen many time, आप लोगों ने भी जरूर देखा होगा, तो ऐसे हो सकता है रोडिंग फिट्स मिले या कुछ और मिले हमें। चले इन्वेस्टिगेट कैसे करेंगे?
So I will go for the MRI brain plan with contrast.
साम भाई आगे स्लाइड ले। तो इसको रीड करने की कोशिश करें। अच्छा, किसी ने लिखा सीटी इनिशियली, अगर हम ऐसे कहेंगे तो हम कहेंगे सर माय फर्स्ट चॉइस ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन वुड बी सीटी, ठीक है, जो हम रूटीन में करते हैं इन रूटीन, बट इन्वेस्टिगेशन ऑफ चॉइस कहें तो फिर हम एमआरआई करवाएंगे। किसी ने सवाल पूछा था तो उसके लिए जी। शाकिर भाई काइंडली रीड।
Okay. This is the radiology, and in the radiology there is the MRI with the axial and the sagittal cuts and the angiogram of the patient, and the lesion is the ISO intense on the T1 weighted images. Can I see the other images? And the
These are
lesion,
the images which you are given, brother. These are all images, and these are focused
okay,
images. So you have to think
Okay.
on these.
okay. The lesion is the ISO intense on T1 and hyper intense on the T2, and the lesion is in the midline, and there is the lesion is the broad base, and there is the clip sign can be appreciated. So the lesion is in the interior brain hemisphere, and it is broad base and hypo to isointense on T1 and hyperintense on the T2 weighted images.
ये MRV भी है साथ इसमें, उसको रीड कर सकते हैं।
T1 पे ISO नहीं है।
T1 पे ऐसा नहीं है।
T1 पर ISO है ना?
ISO
Slightly
कैसे?
hyper-
ISO
hyper
ISO होगा जब ग्रे हो
अलबत्ता
जाएगा ना।
T2 पे थोड़ा बहुत ISO नजर आ रहा है, लेकिन T1 पे तो नहीं।
जी बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सही बात, थोड़ा स्लाइटली हाइपर है भाई। एंड अच्छा, इसकी MRV भी है, तो ऑन दीज इमेजेस ये क्या करेंगे हम, दे शुड गिव अस इमेजेस, then they will ask you to read first of all, and in these images they can ask you particularly about different regions, they can ask you as well, And for example, if this is MRV is given as well in it, so they can ask
Yes,
you
sir.
about the normal structures, or if you can find any pathology, then they can ask
Yes,
you
sir.
about that as well. So क्या
In
लग
the
रहा है आपको?
MRV,
MRV पढ़ना चाह रहे हैं, पढ़े MRV?
uh, there is the superior sagittal sinus and the inferior sagittal sinus, and uh, and there is the straight sinus and
मतलब
the
ये कि
inferior.
एक्चुअली तो मतलब अब देखे, जब हमारे पास आपके पास
इन्वॉल्व
sagittal
कर
cut
रहा है
है,
कि नहीं?
आप इसको कोरिलेट ऐसे
Involve-
करेंगे कि because it is attached with nearly falx, it is attached with the falx, so you are thinking about sinus. So MRV, the purpose is to see the tributaries attached with the tumor or not. Okay. The thing is, when we are looking at the MRV, first of all, you should see sagittal MRI cut, and at the point you should correlate with the MRV. And in that point, if you can see slightly blush, or if you can see that there are the tumor portion and the blood supply with it is attached or not, then you can say sometimes there is thinning, it is obstructing the supply, so you have to see it. So इसमें ऐसा नहीं लग रहा. चले आगे.
जी,
क्या लग रहा है
so
भाई आपको ये
it's
क्या है?
looking to be the meningioma.
जी जी मेनिंजियोमा लग रहा है. ठीक है, आगे चले भाई. असम भाई. So counseling, हम हमेशा लिखते हैं, in every scenario we used to ask about counseling. In examination, they in long case they hardly ask you much about the counseling, but the purpose to write over here, what I always write counseling is that these scenarios are given as sport and talks about counseling. So you should make your counseling notes, or you should what we do in routine as well. So you should counsel it properly. ठीक है ना, जिसमें हम सारी चीजें बता रहे होते हैं. तो अलग से भी यही स्पोर्ट हमें अलग अलग करके निकाल रहे होते हैं. इसके साथ कुछ टॉक्स में अगर कोई टॉक्स देना चाह रहा होता है तो उसमें काउंसलिंग में एक स्पोर्ट आता है. तो उसमें दूसरा इसके साथ क्या फोकस करते हैं, वो अमूमन मेटास्टेसिस वाले चैप्टर और प्रोलेक्टिनोमास और इस पे काउंसलिंग करवा रहे होते हैं, या ब्रेन डेथ पे भी काउंसलिंग करवाते हैं. तो इस तरह ट्यूमर कुछ भी दे सकते हैं. तो हर सिनेरियो में काउंसलिंग का पार्ट होता है, जो पेपर में हमसे ज्यादा नहीं पूछा जाता, लेकिन हमें आनी चाहिए. तो काउंसलिंग को आप थोड़ा स्मूथली करके फिर मैनेजमेंट पे आ जाए.
Okay. In the counseling, I will I will tell the patient that there is a lesion in the brain, and it is a good news for the patient that the lesion looking to be the benign, and it is not so much dangerous if we operate the patient on time, and so the patient needs surgery, and for that surgery, it is the lesion is attached with the vessel. So in the surgery, we will operate the lesion, but there is the chances that the patient can bleed. So for that we need to arrange the blood for the patient. And other thing that the patient if we the patient if the patient is not going for the surgery, so the patient neurology can be deteriorated. And if we operate on time, the patient neurology will improve and it will not deteriorate further. So in the surgery, we will go for the we will remove the piece of the bone from the head of the patient, and we will try to do the maximum safe resection. But if there is the lesion is attached with the important neurovascular structure, we will not remove that portion. So some portion of the tubule can be preserved there, because so that there is no damage to the patient. So there are these chances in the surgery, and so I will in the counsel these important things. हेलो असद भाई, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही।
सॉरी। हाँ, अच्छा, काउंसलिंग में एक और बात कि हमें पेशेंट के जब भी काउंसलिंग करें तो हमें उसके रिहेबिलिटेशन का भी बताना होता है। उसके बाद जब हम काउंसलिंग कर लें तो उसके बाद जैसे आगे किसी पेशेंट को हम कीमो रेडियो दे रहे होते हैं, तो वी शुड टॉक अबाउट दिस एज वेल इन काउंसलिंग स्लाइटली. We should tell the examiner so that the examiner knows that that the doctor who is sitting in front of me knows everything and he is describing me. Like जब हम patients को we used to tell the patient that I will operate and then in future patient may go for radio chemo and afterwards patient may need rehabilitation for which we will give follow-ups and we will call the patient for follow-ups and with CT or MRI we should describe them. If the station is for counseling in talks where you are given in detail, you are given 5 to 7 minutes to counsel the patient, then you should go in detail. Otherwise, when there is a long case, then you have to they ask you like summarize the counseling. So then you can go for it like this. So how will you manage this patient?
So first of all, I will admit the patient, okay, and after taking proper history and proper examination and investigation and counseling, I will go for the surgical option. In the I will ship the patient to the OT, and the patient will be in the supine position. I will mm, clean and treat the patient under general anesthesia. I will make uh, U-shape, harsh U-shape incision over the lesion, and after that, I will do the uh, subcutaneous dissection. Then I will make the burr. I will do the straightening of sinuses, and then I will do the craniotomy, and then I will do the open the dura in the U-shape, uh, and then I will
ड्यूरा का
uh,
बेस किस तरफ रखेंगे?
toward the sinus,
Okay.
and then I will identify the lesion. It is extra-axial, so it can be easily identified. Uh, then I will devascularize the tumor. I will do the uh, intracapsular debulking of the lesion, and then I will remove the capsule from the uh,
अच्छा, when
brain.
sorry एक मिनट, sorry मैं आपको रोक रहा हूँ. अच्छा, when we are describing the steps of surgery, for example, the tip is when you are describing, you are saying about incision positioning, that is very good, fine. But when sometimes we don't know the steps, then there is the principles of surgery. You should always remember the principles of surgery. So when there is a meningioma, you should always describe about their principles. This will it looks very good that the examiner notices that the candidate knows each and everything. That like first of all, I will coagulate capsule, then I will internally debulk, then I will take it like this. So whenever you are stuck, you should always go for principles of surgery. You should not then describe each and every step. You should go for principles so that you can get survive. You should survive. जी जी आगे चलें.
Okay, and then I will remove the capsule of the tumor from the brain with gentle dissection, and if the uh, dura is involved, I can remove the capsule. If the dura is safe, so I will not do anything with. I will only coagulate it. Uh, so and after that, I will after biopsy and excision of the lesion, I will secure the hemostasis, uh, and I will after hemostasis, I will close the wound in reverse order.
Okay.
Uh,
So afterwards,
and then I will uh, uh, shift the patient to the ICU. I will patient the patient. I will put the patient on the antibiotic, antiepileptic, steroid, and I will.
anything else after the after medical management, post op medical management, you want to do or you want to describe? Suppose your tumor is you have done subtotal resection or
Yes, sir.
near total resection. So then
Okay. Then, if I have done the subtotal resection and the patient is okay immediate after surgery. So after 1 month, after 1 week, I can go for the MRI of the patient. So it will be a baseline for me, and then I will compare that the lesion is increasing or not. One is that other, if I have the facilities and if I have MIB indices, so I will also take that indices, and if it is increasing, so it also give me idea that the lesion is increasing in size. So then I can think of the SRS for the patient.
SRS or radiotherapy. Okay. So if you are going for radiotherapy, so how much you will give the radiotherapy dose? Do you know something like this?
Uh, the radiotherapy dose in the meningioma, I think it is 14 to 18 grays.
No, actually, the purpose to ask this question was sometimes examiners ask you about such things. So when you are in the supratentorial and you are in a position that you cannot remember actually the dose, so you should just go. This is not actually, but you can go like जैसे हम कहते हैं ना तुक्का मारने भी लगे तो around 50 plus में 50 to 60 के बीच में ही. So it's 55 to 60 gray. So 45 से 60 के बीच में कह दिया करें. Depending upon very critical structures. If there are eloquent structures like if you are near cochlea, optic chiasma, तो उसमें फिर कम हो जाता है. But in general in brain, you can go for 45 to 60 के बीच में ही. So you see grays. You should land in between and it should be safe. You because we go towards 60 grays. Okay. So इस तरह बोलना है. अच्छा. इसके बाद मैनेजमेंट में इसके ऊपर आपसे व्हाट दे वांट टू they can ask you is about they can ask you about Simpson grading as well, or they can ask you about UCSF outcome scale, and in there they can ask you that you have done subtotal dissection. So how much chances of recurrence are there? Can you
Yes.
tell about chances of recurrence if I'm
It
doing the
depends
surgery and I'm
upon
doing subtotal?
it depends upon the Simpson grading. Okay. In Simpson grading, if we grade 1, if we have removed the complete grass total resection of the lesion and excision of the dural attachment and the abnormal bone, so the chances are 9%. And in the grade 2, if we have necroscopically complete removal of the lesion and we have coagulate the dura, so the chance is 19%. In the grade 3, if we have removed the lesion without resection or coagulation of the dural attachment, so the chances is 29%. And in the partial remote, the chances is 39. And in the simple decompression or biopsy, the chances are more than 90, 95,
Okay.
99.
Okay.
Is
Okay.
0919 on this stage. So
अच्छा अच्छा इसके साथ KI इंडेक्स का कोई होता है ताल्लुक?
Bilkul. If the KI index, KI 67 index is more than 5 to 7, so that the lesion, the meningioma is anaplastic. So it is the important one is that other if there is the residual tumor and we have the facility of the KI 67 index. So if the KI 67 index of the patient is
Okay. The
increasing,
purpose
so it
is
also
to
give an the purpose is that
अच्छा
it
अगर
separates
हम
the grade 2 from the grade 3 and anaplastic from the benign meningioma.
Okay, okay. They can ask one more question is that they can ask in the examination about classification of meningiomas, means subtypes, histological types. They can ask you about this one thing as well. The other thing is mean time to recurrence. If this is, for example, subtotal and I am going for radiotherapy as well, what would be chances of recurrence with that? In which time, how much time it will take to recur if it is recurring and it is a anaplastic, suppose it is in the biopsy comes anaplastic, I have gone for radiotherapy as well, and then what is the time of recurrence? They can ask you about this. These questions are not, they do not ask you in routine, but if you are going good, then they will ask you about this as well.
जी sir.
If it is, if you do not remember, my purpose to ask such question is to or raise these question is to that we have some time about in examination, so you should go through these things as well, so that we in routine we do not remember these things actually, but the meningioma, schwannoma, these are the common scenarios, pituitary, they always come in the exam. So with these scenarios we should know each and everything, otherwise we can stuck at every point. But if you are not knowing these things, I will suggest you don't do something which is stupid, and you should directly say sorry, I don't remember. The examiner will jump on the next question. So next slide लगा दे, next slide लगा दे, एक स्लाइड आगे, ये बाद में करते हैं, इससे भी आगे, इससे आगे कर ले, इंस्ट्रूमेंट पे आ जी। कौन करेगा? शाकिला भाई, अयाज भाई, कोई भी बिस्मिल्लाह करे, आप लोग ही करते हैं।
सर ये
आप करेंगे?
स्क्रूज है सर।
स्क्रूज है, ठीक है। कौन से स्क्रूज है आप बता सकते हैं कुछ इसका?
पॉलीएक्सियल स्क्रूज है।
पॉलीएक्सियल
ऊपर वाली पॉलीएक्सियल है और
नीचे वाली
सर ये फिक्स्ड जो होते हैं सर, क्या नाम है उसका, मैं भूल गया।
मोनोएक्सियल कैसे?
मोनोएक्सियल जी सर।
ठीक है,
इसके हेड मुंह नहीं कर रहा ना सर।
हाँ बिल्कुल यही। The point is that we use these screws, but these screws sometimes comes in talks. They put these screws and they ask you about the different types of screws, and then they can ask you about different diameters and length of these screws. Then they can ask you about how the trajectory of different procedure in different procedure. For example, in lumbar, what would be your trajectory? And in thoracic, what would be your trajectory? So for example, we are doing it in near D12. So you are doing this pedicle screw. These are pedicle screws. So how will you do it? They can ask you the procedure as well, but they can ask you the trajectory as well. So whatever they want. So for here, as we are doing talks station, so we are in a hurry. So kindly describe trajectory.
Sir, what trajectory will you use to apply it for D12? So D12 में sir ये at the mid of the
TP
transport।
ठीक है, लेकिन किस एंगल में, किस डायरेक्शन में, ये आपसे एंगल जरूर पूछेंगे कि आपको आना चाहिए।
ये सर क्रेनियोकार्डल डायरेक्शन में, क्रेनियोकार्डल एंगल जो हम लेते हैं सर, तो ये 10 to 15 डिग्री कार्डल होता है सर।
10 to 15 और मीडियली
क्रेनियोकार्डल सर।
एंड मीडियल टू लेटरल
वो तो मुझे याद नहीं है, मुझे क्रेनियोकार्डल याद है। 10 to
0 to 5.5 -5 तक जाते हैं ना, तो 0 to -5 तो नियरली परपेंडिकुलर जैसे जा रहे होते हैं। तो मकसद ये है कि द पर्पस ऑफ दिस होल वर्चुअल एग्जामिनेशन इज to you should be familiar with different stations which usually come in these examinations. What we are out of all these virtual examinations, what I always focused is during preparing these stations are really I have not even done any station which is not haven't been done in the past. These were all stations of the past, so you should go through these stations so that your examination should be much easier. They will ask you about these things definitely, and inshallah you will make through it. सो ये चीजें याद होनी चाहिए आपको. सो डू यू नो अबाउट डिफरेंट साइज एंड डायमीटर्स ऑफ स्क्रू?
सर तो जी सर, D12 के लिए हमारा जो साइज होता है वो 35 to 40 mm होता है सर, और जो डायमीटर होता है वो 3.5 to 4 mm होता है.
सही. और जो लंबर में होता है वो उसमें कितना यूज करते हैं?
लंबर में सर हम थोड़ा सा डायमीटर पे ज्यादा चले जाते हैं, 45 to 50 पे जाते हैं सर, जो लेंथ होता है सर, और डायमीटर हमारे पास वही 3.5 to 4 mm या 5
4.5.
mm.
अच्छा,
यस
इस
सर,
तरह
वही.
सर्वाइकल में भी होता है और मेल एंड फीमेल में भी डिफरेंस है थोड़ा ना, तो याद है
हाँ
सर्वाइकल का कुछ?
सर्वाइकल में सर ये होता है कि वो 14 to 16 mm मेल में होता है और 12 to 14 mm फीमेल में होता है सर, जो लेंथ
11 to
होता है
14
सर.
के बीच में फीमेल में होता है, ठीक है. और साइज, डायमीटर?
साइज बस वही होता है सर, 3.5 है वही.
3.5 होता है, ठीक है. अच्छा, इसके साथ आपके पास सर्वाइकल में फिर दूसरे स्क्रूज आ सकते हैं, लेटरल मास, वो छोटे स्क्रूज होते हैं ना, तो आपको आइडिया हो जाएगा. प्लेट्स भी पूछते हैं ये, सो दे समटाइम्स आस्क यू प्लेट्स एज वेल. They can keep plates and screws. They can say you in the examination that मतलब आप लगा के दिखाए, you should do it on a dummy. They have a model as well, so they can ask you to do it, or they can ask you to draw it as well. So ये भी करते हैं. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में आ जाए. तो ये पास्ट की हमारी एक स्लाइड है जो पहले हम कर
यस सर.
चुके थे पास्ट में.
ट्राइजिमिन.
ये
यस सर.
ट्राइजेमिनल नर्व है, बिल्कुल सही. सेंसरी रूट नजर आ रही है. ये कौन सा है ट्राइजेमिनल की रूट, कौन से पे आप हाईलाइट कर रहे हैं?
ये ए जो है सर ये सेंसरी है, और बी इसमें पेट्रोजल वेन है सर, सी इसमें सुपीरियर सेरेबेलर आर्टरी है सर.
सही.
नहीं, डी जो है सर ये पेट्रोजल वेन है सर, और सी
डी
सुपीरियर
प्रोजल है,
सेरेबेलर. यस सर.
ठीक. सुपीरियर सेरिबेलर,
और
सही है.
अ,
अच्छा हसाम भाई, जो पीछे स्लाइड हम छोड़ के आए थे उस पे चले. इससे ऊपर, इससे ऊपर. तो ये नहीं, ये रेडियोलॉजी, रेडियोलॉजी. आगे आगे आ जाए, स्लाइड नंबर 7 पे आ जाए जी.
सर तो
तो
ये
ये भी हमने पास्ट में किया था. कॉमन सिनेरियो है ये. यूजुअली हमारे पास इस तरह का सिनेरियो आता है 2 या 3 जगहों से. सेला रीजन, पाइनियल रीजन पे आ सकता है, एंड देन लाइक दिस. और इसके अलावा क्या हो सकता है, फिर आप आगे आएंगे तो उसकी क्लासिफिकेशन के हिसाब से आप समझ लिया जाएंगे कि भाई ये क्या है. तो अभी आप अंदाजा तो हो गया होगा आपको, तो फिर वो क्लासिफिकेशन के हिसाब से पूछ सकते हैं आपसे. जी
जी सर.
अयाज भाई.
जी. So this is MRI brain with different cuts, sagittals and axial cuts showing hypo-intense lesion CSF-like consistency, sir, in the supracellular region. And for that, I need T2-weighted images as well, so that I may decide.
आगे चले. असम भाई.
So the same MRI cuts of the patient, and it is hyper intense. So it's a CSF-like consistency, sir, and it may be, sir, in erichinite cyst.
ओके. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक ये इसी का अगला सवाल भी, कभी कभार हम सवालों से भी तो आइडिया लेते हैं. ग्लासी क्लासिफिकेशन.
जी सर. तो गिलासी क्लासिफिकेशन में है कि टाइप 1 में सर, टाइप 1 is at the temporal tip and it is by convex, sir, and it is communicating with the subarachnoid spaces through the water soluble CT cystonogram, sir. टाइप 2 में ये होता है कि it involve the intermediate and the proximal portion, and it partially communicate with the subarachnoid spaces through the water soluble CT cystonogram. और टाइप 3 में ये होता है कि it involves the whole Sylvian fissure and don't communicate with the through the water soluble CT cystonogram with the subarachnoid spaces.
सही. तो मैनेजमेंट
ये
बताएंगे आप डिफरेंट मैनेजमेंट ऑप्शंस कहाँ, मतलब एक तो ये सिनेरियो पे जब आपके सामने इमेज आ जाए तो उस सिनेरियो पे बात करनी होती है ना मैं, लेकिन फिर एग्जामिनर आपसे पूछ सकता है कि दूसरे जो इसके होते हैं टाइप्स, उसमें आप क्या क्या करोगे.
सर तो सर अगर हम एज अ होल ले ले तो इसमें हम ये करते हैं कि बरहोल स्पायरेशन करते हैं, एक ऑप्शन ये है। दूसरा ऑप्शन ये है कि हम क्रेनियाटोमी विद एक्सीजन करते हैं सर। तीसरा ऑप्शन ये है क्रेनियाटोमी विद एक्सीजन ऑफ द सिस्ट करते हैं। तीसरा ऑप्शन ये है कि हम सिस्ट और पेरिटोनियम के दरमियान जो शंट है वही करता है, जो कि डेफिनेटिव ट्रीटमेंट है। लेकिन यहाँ पे सर हमारे पास जो है एंडोस्कोपिक ट्रीटमेंट जो है वही अच्छा रहेगा।
जी एंडोस्कोपिक, ठीक है, तो सही है, यही ऑप्शन थे और फिर एंडोस्कोपी के ऊपर वही आपसे पूछेंगे। तो दिस वाज ऑल अबाउट टुडेज सेशन। तो अनफॉर्चुनेटली आज साहब
एंडोस्कोपी
हमें
किस
ज्वाइन
तरह
नहीं कर
करनी
सकते। तो जी सॉरी,
उसके स्टेप बताइए यस भाई।
हाँ यार स्टेप्स बता दीजिए एंडोस्कोपी के
सर एंडोस्कोपिक तो हम थ्रू उसी
ईटीवी वाले तरीके से ही।
एटीवी के थ्रू करते हैं और सिस्ट को स्पायरेट करते हैं और इसका जो कैप्सूल है सर वही रिमूव करते हैं। और फिर वो मैंने सुना था कि वो लेमिना टर्मिनलिस में भी
जी बिल्कुल
कम्युनिकेट थ्रू लेमिना
कम्युनिकेट करते
टर्मिनलिस भी कम्युनिकेट। जी सर।
हैं। जी, तो इसके स्टेप्स वही होंगे शाकुरुल्लाह भाई, जो ईटीवी के स्टेप्स है। आफ्टरवर्ड्स जब आप पंचर कर लेते हैं उसके बाद ये है कि आप उसका कैप्सूल रिमूव कर सकते हैं ना, वो वैसे ही इट कुड बी मच इजियर।
नहीं असद भाई ये इंट्रावेंट्रिकुलर है
वेंट्रिकल के साथ कम्युनिकेट कर रही है।
तो किस तरह वो ईटीवी वाली स्टेप जरा डिटेल में बता।
क्योंकि आप जब फोरामेन ऑफ मोनरो के थ्रू जाएंगे तो जैसे हमें कोलर सिस्ट मिलती है, ये आगे हमें बैलून मिल जाएगी ना उसके साथ सिस्ट,
हाँ
ठीक है ना, तो आप उसको पंचर कम्युनिकेशन जो है, अगर कम्युनिकेटेड है जैसे, तो उसमें ये होता है सेप्टेशन होती है ना उसके साथ, तो आप सेप्टेशन को तोड़ोगे ना।
ठीक
ठीक है, तो अब मेरे नजर में तो यार आप मतलब हमारे दो ही कैंडिडेट्स होते हैं, अयाज भाई एंड शाकुरुल्लाह। आई बिलीव दैट इंशाल्लाह यू बोथ विल मेक थ्रू दिस, if it is virtual, most likely that would be virtual, so inshallah you both will be successful, and inshallah we will pray for you as well. And those who are preparing themselves for the upcoming exam or in say, some time, inshallah I will suggest you to go through these topics and prepare themselves with your colleagues. Inshallah you will get benefit. इंशाल्लाह इसी में से ही भाई मेरी नजर में काफी सारी चीजें कुछ ना कुछ आ ही जाएगा ना, इसमें से कुछ ना कुछ तो नहीं, काफी कुछ आ जाएगा इंशाल्लाह। तो मैं अगली मर्तबा कोशिश करूंगा कि एक आध और सिनेरियो लगाऊं एंड दैट कैन, मतलब थोड़ा मुश्किल करके लगाऊं ताकि आप लोगों को हर साइड क्लियर हो जाए पेपर से पहले, और हम उसी में से इंशाल्लाह अल्लाह करे आपकी हेल्प हो जाए और आप लोग पास हो, तो बड़ा मजा आएगा इंशाल्लाह पास होंगे। बहुत ज्यादा शुक्रिया आप लोगों का, आप लोग ज्वाइन करते हैं।
आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट करनी थी, अगर आपके पास टाइम हो तो यूट्यूब पे थोड़ा अपलोड कर लिया करें।
भाई
डाटा भी ज़ाया नहीं
मैं
होगा।
अपलोड करूंगा, मैं अपलोड करता हूँ बिल्कुल, जज़ाकल्लाह, मैं करता हूँ बिल्कुल, सही बात, ठीक, शुक्रिया,
थैंक यू
थैंक्स
सर, बहुत
असद भाई,
मेहरबानी।
शुक्रिया
जज़ाकल्लाह
जज़ाक।
भाई, जज़ाकल्लाह।